So this new information has me more excited for the next PlayStation handheld than the PlayStation 6 itself, and I'll break down why here. And if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. First, are you picking up both the PlayStation Portable 3 and the PlayStation 6, or just the PlayStation 6 itself? I've seen people on other platforms already start saying they're saving up for both, which is, of course, a lot of money. But what about you guys here? So comment below, are you picking up both the PlayStation Portable 3 and PlayStation 6, or just the PlayStation 6 itself? Let me know down in the comments below. So I want to start this off by saying in 2017, when I first held the Switch, I personally said that this was the best designed console on the market, and I still think that to this day about the Switch too, and we'll get into that. So let's simplify things here from what Moore's Law is Dead has stated in leaks he dropped yesterday. He dropped the new specs of the PlayStation handheld along with prices based off the build material and more. So going over the specs that he leaked, let's compare it one by one to the 2023 specs to kind of make sense of this. So it's still a 3nm chip on both leaks. In terms of the CPU, he stated this for the 2023 specs: 4 times Zen 6C cores, while the 2025 specs are 4 times Zen 6C plus 2 times Zen 6 low power cores. Now, this is significant because the low power cores are for the operating system and free up 20% performance for the CPU according to Moore's Law is Dead. This means there will be more power given to games since there's something already there dedicated for system features. In terms of the GPU, he stated this for the 2023 specs: 12 to 20 RDNA 5 compute units at 1.6 to 2 gigahertz. And now for the 2025 specs, it's 16 RDNA 5 compute units, iGPU clocked at 1.2 gigahertz in handheld mode and 1.65 gigahertz in docked mode. Taken that these are also RDNA 5 CUs, which according to Moore's Law is Dead should have, I believe, 60% faster performance per compute units over RDNA 2, which is what's in the PlayStation 5. So this is where things get really interesting. The PlayStation 6 handheld is dockable and actually becomes more powerful when it's docked, like the Nintendo Switch. I stated earlier that the Switch is my favorite console design, and that's because of how freeing it feels to connect and play on your TV, continue your game on the go, detach the controllers, and play with others. This is an amazing design in my opinion. That to me is the future of how gaming should be. This right here has me more excited for the PlayStation Portable 3 than the PlayStation 6 itself. But also, outside of the dockable feature, if you haven't noticed, the specs have been upgraded a good deal from the 2023 specs. In terms of memory bandwidth, he stated this for the 2023 specs: 128-bit bus with LPDDR5X 7500 plus, and for the 2025 leaks, he stated this: a 192-bit LPDDR5X 8533 memory controller with support for up to 48 gigabytes of RAM. The bigger memory bandwidth and more RAM are important for AI implementation, according to developers he spoke with. He stated this on the video. Moore's Law is Dead thinks Sony will land on 24 gigabytes of RAM as a minimum, so it'll probably be higher than this. In terms of rasterization, which is how fast the chip can convert 3D objects into 2D raster images that can be displayed on screen, so churning geometric shapes into actual pixels. He said the handheld would roughly be 0.5 that of PlayStation 5's raster speed, but now for the 2025 leaks, he states it's 0.55 to 0.75 that of the PlayStation 5 when docked. Not only that, he states that if a game is properly patched for the handheld and uses FSR 4, it should perform better than the base PlayStation 5, which is insane to hear for a handheld. He does note that if the game isn't patched properly and doesn't have ray tracing, it'll perform slightly lower than the base PlayStation 5, so games that are not patched could probably just use the low power mode that's on the PlayStation 5 and run the game like that without any patches. The fact that he's saying it should exceed PlayStation 5 performance if patched with FSR 4 usage is very impressive. Now, in terms of ray tracing, for the 2023 specs, he didn't give something specific, but said it should be better than what's in the base PlayStation 5. For the 2025 specs, he states that the ray tracing will be 1.3 to 2.6 times that of the PlayStation 5 when it's docked. Take in that the PlayStation 5 Pro has 2 to 4 times the ray tracing capability of base PlayStation 5, so this is in that area, which is wild. Of course, this is me thinking from now in 2025, but maybe in 2027 it could be something you see more of when those handhelds release in that period of time. Now, in terms of pricing, we don't actually have leaks for this, obviously, since this thing is still years away, but rather we have Moore's Law's Dead's opinion based off the specs. Before, he said $399 to $499, and now he's still sticking with $399 to $499. He said the cost to make the handheld is about $375. So if Sony really wanted to, they could price it at $349, take a loss, but we know they won't be doing that. So he's sticking with his opinion of somewhere between $399 and $499. Now, in terms of release, in the 2023 spec leak, it stated production for mid-2027. So there was a possibility that could change. That information was from 2 years ago. Now, in terms of the 2025 leaks, it still states mid-2027. So right now, Sony is still targeting that year to launch this thing alongside the PlayStation 6, it looks like. Sony maybe will probably market these two together as two separate options to game to maybe promote play how you want, I would assume. You know, if you're somebody who's on the go, get the handheld. If you're somebody who wants the power and wants to play at home, get the console. Now, I also wanted to cover the PlayStation Portable 3 TV-like setup. Moore's Law is Dead has stated that Sony's objective in the documents is to shift PlayStation 4 players off that console. He states that this handheld is cheaper to make than the PlayStation 5. So if they put this thing in a box, for example, and sell that for $299, that should shift a lot of PlayStation 4 players over to something that's not still using a hard drive. They want to get off using hard drives as something you have to develop for. Even if they sell the handheld itself at $399 and advertise it as your next main console, since you can play it in docked mode and play it on the go, that could also shift a lot of people over from the PlayStation 4. I honestly think GTA 6 is going to shift a lot of people over, but it looks like Sony wants to drastically reduce PlayStation 4 numbers to as low as possible. They want to leave that thing. But that's everything so far. I'm very excited for the handheld, and now I'm more excited for this handheld than the PlayStation 6 itself. I know that's crazy to hear for some people. Of course, I'm still excited for the PlayStation 6 because it'll have that jump in performance. That's where you want to play those graphically intensive games as best as possible in the console space. But the concept of a dockable handheld is so good, and I'm happy that PlayStation are doing it. But you guys let me know if you're excited for the PSP 3 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. As it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with play on the go. Obviously, this is a reference to the PlayStation handheld that we've been talking the entire video about. But I'm really excited for this thing, and I'm excited to see how well it performs, obviously in comparison to the PlayStation 6, but also in comparison to the PlayStation 5. Like, how much better can it be when docked compared to the PlayStation 5? I think Digital Foundry is going to have a lot of fun doing that, comparing the handheld and docked versus handheld mode, and then the PlayStation 6 and the PlayStation 5 and the Pro. That's going to be a crazy set of comparisons. But I'm excited for the handheld. If you are as well, destroy the comment section with play on the go, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.